a one-of-a-kind token made from Nelson Mandela's original arrest warrant has raised 1.9 million rand, and that's in an auction to try help with building a cultural monument. That site, we're told, chronicles South Africa's fight for democracy. Mandela, you'll remember, was arrested in 1962 for plotting to destroy the white minority government at the time. The auction's proceeds will benefit the Liliesleaf Museum Heritage Site, which received the original document as a gift from the democratic government, and that was in 2004. Let's make sense of this for you now, bring in the CEO of Virtual Nation Building, Maurice Crespi, who joins us now, as you can see, via our video link. Great to see you, Maurice. Thanks very much indeed for your time. You know, I remember when we were following the story around Liliesleaf, for instance, and there were real concerns that that historic monument will be lost to us forever. It looks like this auction may turn the tide.
Absolutely. In fact, it's been a very, very close call. The electricity at Liliesleaf was cut off only 6 weeks ago, which actually resulted in flooding, but we were able to put that on with the proceeds of last year's sale of an NFT, which was the Oliver Tambo gun pen. So we sold that for 55,000, and now we sold the warrant for 1.9 million, which is absolutely fantastic. Liliesleaf really needs it.
Yeah, let's talk about who's the lucky recipient, who not only has 1.9 million rand, but is actually ultimately, I guess, contributing to a really good cause. Tell us a bit more about the auction.
Okay, the winning bidder is a company in the UAE. The company is building a metaverse, a high net worth metaverse, and it's our understanding that they're going to be showcasing these artifacts in a type of museum environment in the metaverse.
Right, right. And of course, what this moment has done for many, I guess, who are reflecting on this close call, as you put it, is that it's brought into sharp focus, I guess, conversations around the resonance that some of these heritage sites still have with South Africans. I mean, to what extent, obviously, the COVID-19 had an impact, but to what extent are you finding that it's much harder to get South Africans to contribute in keeping these kind of monuments alive so that you don't have to, I guess, rely on things like auctions to do so?
Well, as it happens, because of the auction, we've had a lot of people visiting Liliesleaf. It's actually attracted a lot of attention. Unfortunately, it's not open, but the plan is to open it within the next month with the proceeds of the sale.
Yeah, of course, because there is a lot of work to be done in the nation building project. In fact, just this past week, we've seen moments of fractures in different pockets of society. The relevance of these institutions, essentially what I'm trying to get to, is still very much with us.
Absolutely. The museums, I mean, the opportunity now that the NFTs present for these museums is massive. You know, 5,000, if we were to sell 5,000 artifacts of the same value, that would be equivalent to 25% of South Africa's gold exports, relying on 2018 figures. So it's really, it's an amazing opportunity. Also regard being had to the fact that our heritage is actually very, very important and means a lot to people around the world. So yeah, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, some people aren't really familiar with the process, for instance, of taking a token that's made from an original arrest warrant. Speak to us a bit more about this item that went for close to 2 million rand.
Okay, so the item was stored in the Liliesleaf archive, so that wasn't up for display. We went down there with the Virtual Nation Builder scanning team and audit team. So we have two teams, one is a scanning team, the other is an audit team, to verify for the ultimate purchaser that it is in fact what it purports to be. Once the scan is taken, it goes through a rendering process, which depending on the scan, if it's a 3D object, it can take some time. Then the next phase is really the marketing, the building of the website, the design, putting it up for display. And then there's the auction process. And as part of the auction process, obviously you have to build hype, which we did. And we had international bidders. This was an online bid.
How much assistance are you getting from our government here at home, Maurice?
The trustees of Liliesleaf have been absolutely fantastic. Government has reached out now. The South African Heritage Foundation have asked for a meeting to sit down to understand this better. I also understand that our Department of Arts and Culture will also be reaching out to sit down to try and work on a plan. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity, particularly if it means that we have foreign money coming into South Africa, as we saw with the arrest warrant.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're showing a full screen now of, the item in question, and one can only imagine, just how valuable, not only the monetary value, but sentimental value that this artifact still has. I mean, I do wonder what kind of engagement, if any, still takes place, for instance, with the Mandela family when it comes to these kind of processes.
We have been in touch with the Mandela family. I've been in contact with them from last year, in fact, in relation to the sale of the item. So we are in consultation with the Mandelas. They're very, very much aware, and in fact, they supported the sale.
Yeah, it's good to hear. We, I guess, are starting to grapple with what living in a post-COVID world looks like. Hopefully, that means better fortunes for museums like Liliesleaf. Speak to us, I guess, about some kind of plan to try and ensure some kind of sustainable revenue flow, for lack of a better term, to try to keep these important institutions alive and functioning?
We're working on a plan, and it's quite interesting. It involves scanning heritage sites with drones and LiDAR scanning. We did it for the Ndebele Heritage Site, Komjeki, and you create a digital metaverse, and international participants can actually walk through the museum using virtual reality or augmented reality goggles or just their phone. Now, that opens up museums such as Liliesleaf to the entire world. And they could literally walk through Liliesleaf as though they were there, 360 view. And what we did with the Komjeki site, the Ndebele Heritage Site, is we've actually built it so you can buy these NFTs in the museum that we scanned there. And so I think the way this is going is we're going to have the real life museum and a duplicate of that museum that plugs into metaverses.
Oh, really exciting indeed. Well, we can only wish you all the best, especially because there's no overstating, like I've mentioned several times, the importance of these institutions. For now, thanks very much indeed for your time. Maurice Crespi is the CEO of the Virtual Nation Buildings. Appreciate it once again.